Okay, so the request, as I said, we start with design and such an interface here, an access and login interface. We need two credentials, username and password. Two activities to do behind the scenes in the code behind file, which is to check up the username and password validity, if they are correct or not. Just by after, we will save, once validated, we will save the sessions, the username and password credentials in sessions, and display them in the second page. Simple. This is the behavior. So let's dig in by design and the interface first of all. I'm going to start my Visual Studio, and I'll start by sharing my Visual Studio interface. File new, here it is, file new website. In here, I'm going to use the C# as per our book description, empty website. Nothing to fix it else, leave the directory by default. Immediately, I'm going to create a first interface, add interface, add new interface, web form, just add. It would appear here. Here it is, yes. I'm going to rename it. I'm going to say here login. Leave it with the same extension, ASPX. Here it is. I'm going to swap to design here. I may gain a little bit of space here, whatever. I need two text boxes. First one. Before the text box, I'm going to input, actually, before it, I'm going to input a label here. Label. Yes, and the label here, I'm going to give it a different text, which is username. Username, here it is. New line, new label. I'm going to change it to password, the text. Right here, password. Password, yes. And in front of it, text box for the password, good. And here it is. So two text boxes, two labels, good. And a submit button to check. I'm going to insert here a button. Here it is. I'm going to check, change the text here to, for example, I'm going to use here login. Our design is being validated, so I'm going to save my file. It's not saved here. See the star here, so I'm going to save it. Saved, done. Let's test the page first. View in browser. Yeah, it worked very fine here, so I'm going to share with you the tab. Great, so it works very fine. Once I type actually my username, it works very fine, but the password is being shown in clear text. I'm going to change this password content to stars. The password has to be shown as stars, dots, not like here, it's clear text. Okay, I'm going to stop that. Good. So the properties of this text box here, the password, right click, properties, the character here inside. I want to change the character here, the character text. Let me check it first. Password. It is a password here. I'm going to save it. Whatever text mode, the property is text mode. So view in browser again. Any username. Yes, password. So now it is being displayed in dots. It is not displaying clear text. So it works very fine. Okay, let's move to the next step, which is to check if the username and password is correct or not. Okay. So once the content here is valid and here is valid, so we'll actually get a message, correct message, correct username here. I'm going to here down put a label. Here it is. I'm going to keep it like it is. So the content, the username here is in text box 1, and then the password is text box 2. If text box 1 and text box 2 they are correct, the label 3 here, the label 3 in my case, will display correct username and correct password. Let's do so. The event handler is the button here. So this is what will check the validity of those two text boxes. Double click, and in here I'm going to do the following check. It's an if statement. In between here, I'm going to check the text box 1 dot text. If it's equal to, for example, here I'm going to say man in small. If yes, I'm going to write the second one here. If a second if actually text box 2 dot text is equal, for example, password capital P, whatever. Let everything be in small password. So let's say, for example, if yes, we will do the following here. We'll do the following. What is it? The following is that label 3 text equals, I'm going to say here, for example, correct here, correct credentials. Simple, semicolon. That's it. Actually, it's a double equal. There's a problem here. Double equal. Test of equality. That's it. Good. Save. I'm going to save all. Saved. And let's come back here also. Save and test. Now, we said the username is Oman and the password is password. Let's test. And we have to get this message if it's correct. Let's test. Good. So here I'm going to type Oman in small, and the password I'm going to type 123456. That's something like that. Nothing happened. Another password, different than password. It's not. It's wrong. It's the wrong one. Nothing happened. I'm going to type password now. Password. Correct. This is one actually the correct one, right? Yes. Here it is. Correct credentials. Okay, that's good. Let's come back. Let's come back. Next step. Now, to activate the sessions, I'm going to generate a second page, actually, where we are going to display those names and password if they are valid or not. In the second page, I'm going to generate a second page here. There are more than one way actually to do so, but let's do the easiest one. I'm going to add a second interface, web form. Right click, keep the name here. Here, I'm going to name it. I'm going to rename it, let's say here, home page. I'm going to right click, rename. I'm going to say here, home page. Keep the same extension, ASPX. The star appeared, so I'm going to save it. Then again, swap to the design view. Okay, here I'm going to insert a label here, where I'm going to display the username. Again, save. I'm going to keep it like that. I'll come back to my login page here, I have the destination page, which is home.aspx, and the event handler is the same button. I come back here, code behind file, double click. After the two if statements here, I'm going to new line. See where I'm doing my insert is in this place here. After the if, inside the button click. What I'm going to do? I'm going to generate a session. I choose it from the list. Square parenthesis. I give it the name here. It's user. It equals what? Equals the text box one.text. Text box one.text. Here there is a problem. Just I want to bring it to your attention is that this session here, halas, it will save. This is actually a value that would be saved in this session, which is the value coming from this text box one. But it is to be saved even if those two credentials they are wrong. It will work. But to make the thing actually works according to the need, which is if those two tests are valid, I move the session here to this location. See where I put it. We can put the session where it was here or here. The place here is because we want to save the session only if the two credentials are valid. I'm going to generate a second session, copy paste. I'm going to give it the name, nothing. The password here, I will not save it. I will not display it later on. I'm going to save it only here, password, and it would have the value of the text box 2. Finish. I save my page. Now I go to the second page. We see now I have a session called username. No, I'm going to copy it. This one here. Copy here. I go to my home page. In any empty place here, double click. Yes, I got the load. And this load here, just immediately I'm gonna type the name of the label which we inserted here. It's label 1. I'm gonna type its name, label1.text. Receives what? Receives the session we copied. خلاص. Semicolon. I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna come back here to the login. There is something we will add just in a while. Let me test first the wall to make you understand. Okay. Good. My username is Oman in small. The password is password in small. Log in. Go back to credentials. But we are still here in the login page. See here, we are on the same page. We did not move. Now let me stop and let me come back to the Visual Studio. Let me share with you also. We need to move to the second page once the credentials are correct. If the username and password are correct, we have to move to the next page also. How to? Here. I come back to my destination here. After we record those two sessions, we have to move to the next page, which is the home here. So, new line here. See the place where new line, response dot redirect. Here it is. I choose from the list, and between parentheses, the name of the page I want. The name is here. Here it is. This one. I'm gonna put it here. There it is. In between double quotations also. Home. The same spelling, huh? The same spelling. Capital, small. Good. Done. No, it's not. There's no errors here. I have an error here in this page. It's underlined with red, so I'm gonna add it like that. So toString. I'm gonna add toString. Here it is. Put it with parentheses. Now save. It's not underlined. There is no errors now. And here also there are no errors. Save, and let me come back and test from scratch. User is Oman. Password is password in small. Log in. Close here. I don't want to save. And we are in Oman. Which page? The second page. Let me just share with you. Sorry, let me share with you. The tab here. Here we are. I did not share with you from the beginning. Here it comes. Good. Username I said is Oman. The password is password. We are on the page of the login, level 3. Immediately we move to next page, right in Oman. Actually, there is no form here. We are on the home page now, and it works very fine. What is this Oman? It is the username we type it here. It is the username we type it here. So it has been working here. That's wonderful here. Actually, I'm going to give you this icon just now very quickly here. I'll stop the recording first of all.